these movies,
almost like they were trying to tell you what the future was going to bring you.
And it's shitty because I really wanted flying cars. I really wanted hoverboards. I really wanted all of this fun, interesting things.
I grew up on the Jetsons.
Yeah.
Okay.
A robot butler.
He pushed a button on the vehicle and it become a suitcase and he just carried into his work.
I wanted
That's some shit, man.
I wanted some futuristic stuff. I wanted, something to look forward to. And
Back to the Future.
Yeah, I wanted all of that. I wanted some fun. I was like, it's got to be better when I'm 40, right?
No, because 2022 sucks.
It does.
But not as much as 2020. Fuck you, 23!
It's true.
I cannot stand that goddamn year.
So what were you doing this weekend?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have really nothing to bring you folks. I've had a lot of fun this week. I always have fun because I try to make things just fun in everything that I do.
Well, you are wearing your Bill Cosby sweater.
Yes, I am. That's how festive I am.
Charlie
right
Brown.
Man, and don't make fun of my fucking sweater. I've had this for years, dude.
Oh,
my
I remember.
Dad gave this to me. I love this
remember
sweater.
you wearing that back in the day, and that.
Is the world's ugliest sweater.
It is pretty atrocious, and if anybody has any more, I'm sure Jay would sport them as well.
I don't give a fuck, y'all. I don't give a fuck. I love this sweater.
Well,
so
yeah, it's interesting, and it's cold out. So So I'm wearing my ugly.
Yeah, you have room to talk.
I don't have any room to talk. So what else has been going on? What else did happen?
Okay, so we've almost got the new computer built. We've got 3 or 4 more parts that we have to order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit is almost ready to come out of the garage.
Nice, very nice. Yeah.
Ooh, she's looking good, girl.
Nice.
I'm looking at the numbers everywhere.
We're doing great.
And people are having a really good time with this. YouTube is boom.
You're gonna have to put your ringer on silent. It's not me this time. Sorry, it's okay.
YouTube is blowing up right now.
It is?
It's doing great right now. And, not by YouTuber numbers, but for
us. When we first started with the podcast, these are consistent. Actually, they're better than when we first started the podcast.
Yeah.
The numbers on the YouTube are growing steadily. And
Which is not my thing. That's your thing.
Yeah, and if you want to watch us be silly on camera, it's the same show. It feels a little different because now you're getting to see me and my hand mannerisms, you with your head nodding. Yeah. There's a lot of us that
and Big D inserts all kinds of funny
it's
clips
funny,
into some of these.
And so when we're doing the YouTube, we're growing that as well as the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's a slow process. It's a lot of learning curve. I'm trying to remember like my placement. Things have changed. Like I don't drink anything during the show because I make a lot of noise sounds with my mouth.
I drink.
Yes, and if you want to sponsor us, alcohol beverage companies.
Bacardi, I'm good with checking your money.
Yeah, send us a message.
So ready to get rolling.
So what are we talking about on the show?
We're going to talk about nightlife today.
All right.
It's going to be a lot of fun. You know, this is something that you don't know too much of, but this is my life because I am a vampire.
Yes, you are a vampire. And so let's get ready. My name is Pixie.
And I'm Mr. J.
And welcome to Next on Stage 1, where we have more than 40 years in the adult industry.
Yeah, long time.
Long time. So we might know a thing or two.
A little bit. So we have been doing this for almost a year and a half now.
For the podcast, we've been doing this about 14, 15 months now. Yeah.
And each one of our talks are just really, really engrossing, to tell you the truth. We've got a number of followers or subscribers. I like saying
Yeah.
subscribers.
I like calling them friends.
Friend, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That are commenting that this is engaging, it's engrossing, it's allowing them to see another side of
Right,
things.
right. Because not everybody has been able to experience the nightlife. Not
Yeah.
everybody has been a stripper or got dollars stuffed down their G-string or even really experienced stepping foot in a club.
There's a difference between me and you
Yes.
when it comes to working in the clubs.
Yes.
Okay. We've talked about this in the episodes prior.
Lots of episodes prior.
Look at the old episodes.
We
Just do it.
We talk about all kinds of fun things, like when I got with a chair, your progression of where you're not a Colorado native like
No.
I am.
No.
So we talked about that. We've talked about your history of how you started, how your
entertainment,
your
into adult
roommates were
entertainment.
adult entertainers
Right.
before you got into it. We've talked about our different styles, just basically perspectives on everything.
Yeah, because it's a huge, huge, huge arena to talk about.
It really is.
Okay. So we're different. You're a female dancer. I'm a
Yep.
male dancer.
Yep.
Male dancers predominantly work at night.
Yes, and you
We
stand.
don't get day shifts.
And even the dancing style is different. Men stand up and they're more dominant. They're more
it's a forceful-
stronger.
yes.
Yeah. And women, they're more seductive and smooth, and they do a lot of gliding.
And accommodating.
Yes, and they're more sweet.
Yes.
I don't know. It's a demure kind of thing.
It's a different thing.
It's
They're
completely
totally
different.
entities.
Yeah.
You know, one is, like you said, domination.
Yeah.
And one is submissive. But you got a lot of
It's-
room to kind of
There's
mess
a lot.
around in there too.
Yeah,
you know?
because there's different kind of dancers. There are dancers that are very strong and very powerful, even as women. That it's a type of genre that not everybody can handle. You know,
No.
it takes a really strong-willed individual to be able to go through that.
Right. And I think people are really seeing that in the podcast or hearing the podcast. They're seeing that with all the people that we've talked to over the past year and a half, we're all strong-willed.
Oh
people,
yeah, because you
know.
can't last that long without it.
We understand consent. We take in the information that's given to us and we weigh it and we make informed decisions for ourselves. We have a lot of people that we've talked to, me and you, we're both strong-willed people.
Yes.
Okay. But another difference that I kind of wanted to really, really focus on today was because, and I've done this a little bit more when it comes to the deeper meaning of, I don't want to say deeper meaning. What I want to say is my aspect is a little bit deeper ingrained when
Right.
it comes to nightlife because I work primarily at
You
night.
are a vampire. You everything that
Even
is
as a
around
male
you.
dancer, though.
Even out of being no longer in the business.
Right.
It's still there. I mean, the way that like when I message you and I talk to you, I have to remember that you're sleeping most of the day.
Right. And a lot of people don't really understand that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a complete flip of what the normal person would consider life to be. I know a little bit more when it comes to the adult entertainment arena because it's one of those seedy type of environments that kind of needs to be in the dark. You know, that's where adult entertainment
Right.
lives.
And
you know?
it needs to have its own adult space that only adults can really access.
We've talked about this in previous episodes where it's a little bit more open now, but say 20 years ago when you went into the dark, seedy bar and you had your head, you know, your hat tilted
Trench
low,
coat
your
up.
yeah. You know, man.
Yeah.
You know, you walked into a place like that, you walked out, you didn't talk about it. The
Yeah.
people that were there with you knew what you went there for, but normal people really didn't talk about it
Right.
too
And
much.
if you did, you got ostracized. Your family disowned you. You're a
Right.
blight.
No, don't get me wrong. There are people that do it in the light as well, and
Right.
you know this a little bit better than I do because you've worked in clubs where it's acceptable to have a club open where people are taking off their clothes during the day.
Right. Right. Well, because as a female dancer, you work all of the time.
Yeah.
You work day and night.
You do the 8-hour shifts.
Yeah, you can work 7 days a week. There's a lot of it's such a big difference between male and female
Yeah.
in the industry.
Right.
Yeah, even when it comes down to things that might even be on the furthest end of the spectrum, like porn, that's still a different kind of industry. And so when we talk about these things and we get into this, it's interesting to see other people's perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And so we're going to talk about what happens after the strip club.
After the strip club.
After
Yeah,
the
because
strip
I
club.
see a lot of shit. Being in the nightlife, and,
Oh, yeah.
and that's what we're all about. Okay.
Yeah.
Next on stage 1 is Denver's adult entertainment nightlife
Yes.
podcast. So let me show you the underbelly of what goes on when the lights go out.
Or come back on after the club.
Yeah, man.
What
Because the party
happened?
doesn't stop.
Well, for me, the party does stop.
Yeah.
For me,
Well,
because
you're a vanilla stripper.
I'm a vanilla stripper. For those of you that are just tuning in, I like to dance and I like to do it for fun and I like to make my money and go home.
At the end of the night, you put on your clothes, you grab your bag,
I'm a
and
normal
you go
person, and I'm not continuing afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I was strictly, all right, let's work, let's go home, and that's it. What about you?
home. Me?
Yeah, you.
Are you kidding me?
You vampire.
Come on, man. Well, I've been doing this since the 90s.
Yes.
My first job was, well, not my first job, but my first real, damn it, fuck. All of my jobs have always been kind of night-based.
Yeah.
I worked at a roller rink
Yes.
during my high school years. And yeah, we had late nights. We had all-nighters.
Ooh.
We were up all night and we locked all the kids up inside and we were up until the morning when we gave them back to their parents.
Yeah.
So when I left that, I worked in a restaurant and me and my best friend were working for 2 different Village Inns, and Village Inns was the go-to spot for everybody.
There were other spots. There were
It was Denny's.
Denver
and-
Diner.
Yeah, Denver Diner, hell, table steaks. The environment, it's different from what it is now.
Oh yeah, most places they're closed.
Yeah.
Most bars they close up before 12 now.
Do
So
they?
yeah,
Are
there's
they closing before 12
they
now?
they were.
Well,
yeah.
here in Colorado, you don't have to close until, you have to have the place empty by 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the rule.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't.
So you could be a bar that closes at 1:30 as long as you get everybody the fuck out by 2 o'clock, you're good.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't get late night food. You can't get anything ordered.
No.
There
And
Denver.
the services are real
Yeah,
minimal.
Denver really kind of shuts down. We're not like Las Vegas or New York.
But there was a time there where we were actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
There was a time there where the traffic was so busy. People were getting out of the club and going to restaurants or hanging out with friends, or it was a totally different thing that the businesses started noticing that. There was a time when I was in high school that the only thing that was open was Taco Smell. That's what we called it. Taco Smell. We would get lit. Hey, we're hungry. Who's making this Taco Smell run?
Yeah.
That was the only place that was open. But a lot of people, I guess the businesses started to notice that we were hanging out at night.
Yeah.
So Walmart started to be, actually it wasn't even Walmart back then. It was places like Biggs. And,
Yeah, I can
and
remember.
Target
I have a
and-
story about Biggs.
We'll talk about
Oh,
Biggs
yeah.
then, yeah.
Yeah.
Denver natives will know about Biggs. So there was a nightlife back then. It wasn't just about going to the bar and saying that's the end of the night when the place closed down at 1:30.
Right.
Where do you go after 1:30? You went to the restaurants. You hung out. The strippers used to come down. The bouncers used to come down. Everybody in the Denver metro area that was working at a bar would come down to have something to eat, and would be a big party until about, say, 3:30 at night. And the party didn't just stop there. People went to individual houses and continued
Yep.
the party.
After parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a club by the name of, and I can't remember if it was called 3 a.m. or 5 a.m. I think it was called 3 a.m. It was in a warehouse district off of Broadway and real close to the highway. And they opened up this warehouse, and they had a huge dance room
Oh,
where,
wow.
after the club, and you couldn't drink there, so they were allowed to be open.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Because
so they
no
served the
alcohol.
water,
Yeah.
no alcohol.
No alcohol.
They
You're
just got a
open.
warehouse for you to come down and dance. We get a
Mhm.
DJ. And we would go down there and we hang out till about 5 o'clock in the morning. And yes, the party
Jeez.
was still not over, because you go to Denny's and have breakfast in the morning.
Right.
The nightlife, the people that lived in the nightlife, there's so much shit to do that
Afterwards.
you
Yeah.
folks don't know. The party
No.
doesn't stop.
Yeah, and then that's why a lot of dancers don't get up till like 2 or 3 in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and then they start it all over again
Well, when you're young,
when you're young.
and the restaurant workers too.
Yeah.
There are a number of jobs that the restaurant. I think we talked about this before. If you've never seen the movie Waiting with Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds, that's real shit. Okay, these people, when they get off work, they usually go straight to the nearest bar and they hang out all night, and then everybody goes over to a specific place and they drink and they hang out all night,
Yeah.
and then most of them go to work the next morning. I had one boss over at Olive Garden that used to say every morning when we walked in, "You guys smell like a brewery."
Well, yeah, because you've been drinking all
Drinking all
night.
night.
Oh my goodness. So, and that must have been like crazy, like just perpetual over and over and over again. Did you ever take days off and recover?
When I was younger, we really didn't need to. Now I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I
No?
couldn't do it when I was younger. I couldn't do it now. I can barely stay up
Were
past
you
like
ever
3.
invited to any of the after hours events?
Oh, I got invited sometimes. It wasn't like the people that were partying had always had different, like they were people that were in my circle, but they were just outside of my circle. So
Okay.
they were probably people that may have been partaking in drugs that I didn't, or they didn't have kids. They had a different kind of flair to them that wasn't, like
So are you very specific in the people that you hang out with? You work in a
a
city
strip,
bar,
yeah,
okay?
strip club, yeah.
You've got 30 other girls that you're
Right,
working
you've
with.
got
Are
your
you just honing in on the ones that are similar to you?
No,
Or
no. When I make connections in the club, I'm making connections with everybody.
Okay.
But certain girls in the club that may, like I said, they may partake in things that I don't, and so I'm not going to hang out with those girls. I'm not going to like
No, I agree, because
hang
there's
out
some
in the
girls that
back room,
yeah, yeah, because
I'm-
all kinds of shit can happen.
Right. I'm going to
Right.
hang out with them out on the floor. I'm going to talk to them. And those girls, yeah, we were just acquaintances. So they weren't really the top of my tier when it came to hanging out. Like we don't really have anything in common, because instead of her saving her $20, she's doing something else with her $20, And I didn't want to get myself into something that I couldn't get out of.
This is very interesting. It really is to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've hung out with so many dancers.
Oh,
Okay,
I
male
hung out
and
with
female.
all kinds of different dancers. Just
And-
everybody.
and-
Yeah.
And in the heyday,
Yeah.
a lot of us hung out after
Oh, yeah.
work, Late night breakfasts is over at
Great,
the
great
Breakfast
Scots.
King.
Great Scots. Everybody would leave from the bar over
Did you
there.
ever go?
Once in a while. I'm not really fun after hours. I'm like,
You ready to go home?
I was ready to go home.
Ow!
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Well, it's not crazy to me, because when I go home, it's family.
Right.
When I leave the strip club, I'm basically a completely different person. So it's
That's
a
right. You had kids.
separation
Okay. Right.
separation of individuals. Like
Okay.
Pixie is quite a fun entertainer, but when it comes down to it, home life is more important. And so that's how I've always been.
Okay.
And so it's kind of boring. It's boring to a lot of fast, fun
Oh
entertainment.
yeah,
It's
you're boring
I'm
as fuck.
boring. I'm
But I
boring.
love you.
I know.
I do. I love you.
Boring.
And I like conversations like this because
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. I guess
I know. No, you're fine.
Here's the thing. All of us are different.
Yeah.
You know, and this is
Yeah.
what Next on Stage 1 is all about. Is to show that those of us in this industry, we're not all carbon copies of each
No,
other. We're extremely different.
different backgrounds, different stories, different perspectives.
Yeah.
Like there has just been so much that we've been able to learn from each other and grow as friends.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to hear all of these different stories. I mean, I don't regret anything that I've ever done.
The nightlife.
The nightlife, it just wasn't for me. And
No,
yeah.
and but I would love to say to you that you missed out on a bunch of shit, but you really didn't.
I didn't miss out.
You didn't miss out on anything. I just know a little bit more than you because
Mm-hmm.
that was the environment in which I lived.
Yeah,
That's where I am.
you
could tell me
thrived.
more stuff about daytime shit, you know, what people do.
I was still sleeping till 2.
I can't do daytime shit. I don't understand how y'all do daytime shit. I don't know. How do you do the highway during the daytime? Man, if I had a James Bond car, I'd be fucking up most of y'all. No joke. Some of y'all crazy. What I'm trying to say is that at night, I always enjoyed existing at night because it always seemed to be more of a fun environment.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
when people came out, you're out to have a good time. You're not out to start shit. There's no stress. It's not as hot.
Yeah.
I noticed that in Las Vegas.
Oh, Vegas was terribly hot.
Oh my God, during the day.
Terribly hot.
But I would work in the clubs and then go and then walk around at night. So the nighttime is just a different environment. It's more laid back. It's traffic isn't as hard as
Right.
you know. It's not as hot or as cold. Well, all right, it can be more cold because it's summertime.
It was just your environment.
It was.
You were
it
able
was.
to adapt and just slide into something that feels right for who you are.
And the party really never stopped. And I guess that's where I kind of need to. I need to understand that when it comes to being back with you normal folk in the real world. That's one of the things that sucks about being in the adult industry, especially if you're a nighttime worker, is that when you have to assimilate back into the daytime shit, it's not as
Pretty.
easy.
Yeah, no. And your body gets out of a rhythm. You're going to find yourself just tired at random times and days because your body is so used to being
Yeah.
part of the nightlife for forever.
But I can tell you one of the good things is that nighttime people are always available for you.
You're not always available for me.
No, not during the day. Not during the day because I'm in my coffin during the day.
Yes.
But at night, when because that doesn't happen for most people. If
Right.
you throw a tire at 3:00 in the morning, like fuck, everybody's sleep. Wait, Mr. J's still awake.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, and that's the other thing is that if I needed something, I could always call you and you're there. And just like me,
Right.
during the day, oh shit, something's going down.
But I'm not answering the phone during the day.
No, but you will call me when you need something.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I need you to do this. Can you get this together for me?
And a lot of people don't really get that, you know, and only nighttime workers. Well, nighttime workers
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
You know, my mother, love mom, but it took her a long time to understand that you can't call me at 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And,
Yeah.
Hey, no, I'm not looking to talk to you right now.
3 o'clock is too late to call you, Jay.
Or
You-
12 o'clock in the afternoon when somebody looks at you, you're drinking at 12 o'clock? I'm like,
You have a window. I can call you, or I text you first.
Yeah.
I can text you anytime between like 9 to like
around 2, 3.
2. Yeah. That's the window that I can text you.
Yep.
And I have to text you first before I call you.
Yes.
Because if I call you without texting you, you're not gonna answer the phone. You're not gonna answer the phone.
I answer my phone during normal people, well,
Yeah, yeah.
normal nighttime people
Right.
shit. You
Well,
know what I mean?
that's the thing
Which
is
different.
that I'm not normal,
Yeah.
but I'm normal compared to the nightlife.
Well,
I'm a
you're normal
norm.
compared to normies that work the 9 to 5 because you shared a bit of the nightlife.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I'm
you weren't the
different.
type to hang out with us after work,
Right.
but you were with us up until 2, 3 o'clock
No.
in the morning.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
there have been a number of nights that we went home when the sun came up.
Yeah.
It was fun, man.
Rolled out of the strip club, and there it is.
Yeah, I miss those days. I really do, and I'm hoping that we can go back to that one of these days. You know, that's why I wanted to bring this up. You know, because I think that people need to maybe reach out to your nightlife people because it's harder for us now. There's not as
Right.
many things that are open.
There's nothing open. There's no food delivery. It sucks.
Yeah, it really
I
sucks.
mean, Denver could be the next hub.
Well, we were.
If it opens up.
We were, Pixie.
Jeez.
We were. Two Fisted Mario's is one of the most popular pizza places, and you can go there at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're hungry.
Oh, see, that sounds good.
There was a time that, so long ago. God, I feel old. Because this is way back.
Way in the back machine.
We used to go to DIA when it was first built and just walk around.
Yeah?
Before 9/11.
Yeah.
Back then, we had nothing to do. We'd go down to Biggs. We'd put the girls in shopping carts and push them around.
Yeah.
And we'd go down to DIA and just walk around the place and explore the place. That's back then before they locked everything down. But yeah, there's so much fun to have at night.
Oh, sorry. Do you have any crazy stories of like after parties? Maybe having an after party get busted up or anything like that?
Oh God, tons. Fuck, man.
Give us some dirt. Tell me about some of your shady nightlife stories that would definitely keep me away.
All right. Okay, I'll tell you one. And I have hundreds of them. Literally, at least 100, at least. Okay, so we used to hang out with a number of DJs that you know.
Yes.
There were a number of DJs that lived in the same place, and this was the Party House. And I will not give it away who it is, so you know who you are. Don't worry about it. A number of the guys lived in the same place, and they all worked in different clubs. At least 2 of them did. And they used to hang out in a number of the restaurants, and they knew strippers all over the place. So this was the Party House. They had an upstairs and a downstairs. List of stuff happens downstairs, and just social gatherings are upstairs. We used to have... You know how many times I had my penis touched in that place? Oh my God. I used to actually bring down the male dancers when I was working.
Oh yeah.
It was the Party House. Everyone just expected they were meeting up at this place. You know, late night, and we used to drive.
Even if it's a roll through, huh?
Yeah, honestly, I actually had to stop. The guy that owned the place told me to stop bringing the male dancers down.
Oh gosh.
But no, we did it every week, and that happened for, I would say, at least a year and a half. It was every week at that house. That's where the cheerleaders, Saturday Night Live, the Buzz Boys, Paper Tiger. If you worked in the area,
that's
that
where
was
you're
the
going.
place to be.
Oh man. And was there a lot of illicit extracurricular activities?
I wouldn't say fucking, but people did fuck later. I'm sure of it. I did, but we used to play stupid games like Truth or Dare. You know,
Beer pong.
Beer pong, totally.
Yeah.
I dare you to run up and down the street. No, seriously. Up
Naked.
And down. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And we
Oh,
would
yeah.
do that kind of shit. One of the rooms was for the more hard stuff, and that door was closed. But we used to smoke, allegedly smoke a little bit of.
Now, what did the neighbors think of this crazy
No,
house?
this was old school.
Nobody
Denver,
cared?
This was old school Denver, Colorado, man. So you had a lot of space between houses. So it isn't the new stuff they're building now. You had a good bit of room before people got mad about what you were doing.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun in those situations.
Any real hookups? Any drama?
Always.
Well, tell us about.
I don't know what to tell you, Pixie.
Were there ever strippers that were dating fucking?
Oh, and a crazy dude came over and shot up the place or something like that? No, that never
happened.
No.
Oh.
No, not that.
We want some dirt.
Shit.
We want some. I want you to tell me a story about one time that happened. I know you.
Oh
I know
my
you.
dude!
I want stories.
I've been living the nightlife for
down
so long.
and dirty.
I don't know how to explain it to you. There have been so many different segments of the life. There was a time there where I was working at one of the busier restaurants. It was off of the major cross artery of my high city. So everything went down there. I could tell you stories of fights that would burst out in the parking lot where I would see
in the Chili's parking lot where they're trying to injure each other.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
I've seen situations where Denver police officers have pulled up to an engagement and stayed in their car until backup showed up because the altercation was so bad. I could tell you stories of Dine and Dashers. Remember that
do you have a story of a Dine and Dasher that happened? Because you used to you'd be a waiter during your shift.
Yeah.
And then
you would dance at night.
And then you'd come back to the when
I was managing the company. Yeah, I would have to do that.
And you would be absolutely tired, and you'd just be like, all right, this is how we're going to do it. We're not going to have any bullshit.
One of these days, we need to either get a concierge or a waiter or waitress in here. Not just adult entertainment, but we need to do some nightlife because the stories that waiters and waitresses can tell you.
Well, do you have a story
crazy
about
shit, dude.
Dine and Dash?
Yeah.
Well, tell me a story about Dine and Dash.
Okay, Dine and Dash. Oh, okay. All right, so
Allegedly.
Dine and Dash... You newer millennials or folks that are younger than that don't know what the Dine and Dash concept is. Now, Dine and Dash is you come in either to a pair or a group of people where your intention is to eat, somehow distract the server, and then get out of the place without paying your bill. Okay?
And without getting caught.
Without the manager seeing you, without the host seeing you, without the server going, hey, wait.
Yeah.
You didn't pay your bill. Now, waiters will allow a number of certain things. When we drop off your bill and you leave, sometimes they'll leave the money in the little billfold.
Yeah.
So we check, of course, real quick before you walk out the door type things. Some people leave their credit card. So, we have to allow you a lot of space. In order
right. You don't want to over presume. Yeah.
But the kids that Dine and Dash, on the other hand, they feel as though they're clever, but once you've seen it a couple of times, you know what they're doing, okay? Now, say you have a group of 6 kids that come in, and 5 of them go to the bathroom real quick, and then you'll see one walk out of the place, and then another walk out of the place, and Dine and Dash. They're trying to sneak out of the place without paying their bill. Couples do this, usually the younger kids. So I've got a story where a group of kids came in, and they're so stupid, because I remember this story. Yeah, I remember this so specifically because they drove a van that was so specific. Why would you Dine and Dash?
Well,
they drove a VW bus with mushrooms on the side.
Why would you do that?
No one drives a VW bus with
with
mushrooms on the side, okay? So they Dine and Dashed out of the place. And I'm
was it yours?
No, I was
Was
managing
it
a place.
was it your table? Okay, you're just a
No, I'm
manager.
a manager.
Yeah.
Okay. So why would you dine and dash, pull out of the place, and then go northbound on whatever road, okay, and not think that I'm not going to call the police and go, hey, cops,
Oh,
I got a good one for
I'm
you.
calling.
VW bus with mushrooms on the side. These kids got caught and they had to write me a letter
Oh goodness.
apologizing for the dine and dash.
Oh man.
Got another one. So I'm working with this new kid. I can't tell you what his name is. But he's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. I was maybe 25 at the time, and he came on. He had to be like 22, 21. Young kid, but I knew he was tough, and I'm training him to be a manager. We had a dine and dash. We knew what was happening. We saw it coming. I had worked with this kid for a while, and we had, I don't know. We had a connection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We chased these kids a good 4 or 5 blocks.
Oh man.
Turning down blocks and that way. They all separated. We took down one of them.
Oh.
Okay. We and the thing is, we still lost him because when we did catch this kid and forcefully allegedly forced him up against a fence. Me and this guy. The other kids that made it to their car found us, and when they pulled up trying to get their friend, we felt as though it was stupid to continue. We didn't know what
the numbers.
Yeah, and then the car, we don't know if they had weapons, so we let it go. But we were about to stomp allegedly about to stomp a hole in this kid.
Yeah.
And he knew it.
Right.
He knew it.
Right.
He knew he was caught. He knew he was busted, and if his friends didn't just pull up,
Oh man.
we would have kicked his ass and then handed him off to the cops.
I got a story. So when I was waitressing for the strip club, we always kind of knew certain people were going to come in. If, let's say it's a single female, which they don't usually let a single female into the club.
It's odd, right?
It's odd. It's very odd, and especially if she's already drinking and she's already talking to multiple characters, we kind of suspect that she doesn't have any money. So she's going to hop from one guy to another guy to another guy getting drinks. And and she gave a credit card, and this lady is like, "Oh, it's not." We're like, it doesn't work, and we don't want to be those kind of people. Like, I'm sorry, your credit card doesn't work. We say, "Hey, would you happen to have a different credit card?"
Because you're trying to be nice.
We're trying to be nice. We're trying to get some money out of her. She spent like $56 on alcohol for herself because she's throwing them back.
Right.
She's pretty wasted.
And she's already wasted.
She's already wasted. She's already talked.
Well, not wasted, because you shouldn't have been serving her if she was wasted.
Well,
so.
when a lady like that comes in and she's hopping the bar from guy to guy, we don't know how much she's drank.
Right. Because they're buying her drinks.
Right. And if she's getting from, we usually have 3 different servers. 3 different servers, 2 different bartenders. And so eventually, you kind of put it 2 and 2 together. Drinks are about $7 a piece.
It takes a minute.
It does. Yeah. It takes a minute. And, we're asking her, "Hey, do you have any cash on you? Do you have another card?" And we're chasing her around the bar.
Right.
And eventually, she's like, "Well, let me go out to my car and go get." No, my dear, you cannot leave. You need to pay. And then eventually, the bar will say, "All right, it's not worth it. Give me your ID, and you can come back and pay."
That's what we used to do.
And so we get the ID. She never came back.
She never came back?
Never fucking came back. She
Wow.
gone. She didn't want it. And it was only like $56. I was like, all you could have done, you could have even like walked around and asked customers for a couple of bucks.
You really could have.
You could have.
I bet you 2 of those guys would have gave you $20.
Couple of bucks. They would have, spread that money around.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not just the bar that misses out. It's the waitresses that miss out. That's money that's taken out of all of our pockets.
Including the time that you spent chasing this bitch around the
Yes, I
goddamn
could have been
club
doing
going, "Hey, you gonna pay your bill?
anything
You gonna pay your bill?
other than
You gonna
that.
pay your bill?"
Yeah, and you got so much other things to do, and then at the end of the night, you have to clean, so you're cleaning and chasing.
Right.
And that girl does not care at
And
all.
what's worse if it comes out of your purse? Because a lot of people don't understand there are different types of servers. There are servers that will serve you, hand you a bill, and you walk up to the front of the place and you pay your bill with the cashier there. And then there are other servers that have their own money and
Yep.
their own billfold. And when you pay them, they pay you the change out of their money.
Right, and that's how it works.
And they pay the place at the end of the night.
Right, that's how it works at my strip club.
Yep.
So we start the night with a $20 bill,
Yep.
and we have to make our change from there. The waitresses pay for the drinks before they go out.
Right.
The bar gets
We're
their
buying
money.
the drinks
Yep.
for you, handing them to
Yep.
you, and you're reimbursing us.
Yeah, and
so if you fuck us,
then we have to make it up. We
Right.
we have to use our own tips. There's a lot of different ways that we have to make sure that that money gets back to us. And you don't ever want to be negative walking out of a strip club because everybody, they either dipped on you, they scammed you.
yeah,
We've had a lot of different things, and sometimes you have to be a strong person in there, and you have to basically be a mom. You have to say, no, I want your money, I want it now, and I want you to do what you're supposed to do.
y'all learned some new shit today. Okay, no, they have.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have. A lot of people do not know this. A lot of people don't know.
They
that
just think it's free booze because
some people think that servers make minimum wage
there is
and tipping is
so
extra.
so for Colorado, it's not minimum wage.
Yeah,
It's a server's wage, and
which is shit.
which is
It's below shit.
it was terrible. I think it was under $8.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
it's
shitty.
It's always been shitty
Right.
because
It takes care of your taxes, really.
because they basically assume that you're going to make up the rest of the money through tips.
Right.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes
and
you
if
don't.
if you don't make up the rest of the money through tips, you have to inform your employer, and other things have to do.
Blah, blah,
And
blah,
it
blah.
never
bullshit,
works out.
bullshit,
Yeah,
bullshit.
it
okay?
never works out.
So if you're working in a place where you have your own till and
Yeah.
you're basically buying people their food
Yep.
and then you're submitting a bill to them and they're reimbursing you, when you leave and fuck your server and
Oh,
not
yeah.
pay that bill, sometimes you get a manager to go, I understand, and we'll void that out. Sometimes you get a manager that go, hey,
Yeah,
that's your problem.
right.
So watch your
you-
table better so you can fuck your server, dude, or your waitress.
or your bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if somebody happens to tip you with a fake dollar bill, there's so many different things that can
fake
go
money
on.
shit?
Hate
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Hate it. I feel it. I can feel it. I can hold it. I can hold a fake dollar in my hand.
That's why I got good at knowing counterfeits.
Yeah.
This shit don't...
It doesn't smell right. Don't you dare lick a dollar bill. You know where that's been? Up a stripper's
That could've been up
booty
somebody's
crack.
butthole.
It would be. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot. I mean, almost every single dollar bill that you have has probably been in a stripper's butt
Don't
crack.
put that in your mouth,
Don't
y'all.
put it in your mouth.
Drugs, ash juice. Don't put that in your mouth.
It's gross.
It's nasty.
It's
y'all.
gross. Yeah. Yeah. And so sometimes I had to be a mom. Sometimes I had to just really just lock it in and tell people, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to leave. You got to pay. You've got to own up for what you're doing. And if you're set out to be nefarious, and you're going to find it, you're going to find all kinds of trouble in the strip club.
Yeah.
If you're just out there being wild.
Well, outside the strip club, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And transitions over.
But I've never said that I wanted to be an asshole about payment,
Right.
because I understand that things happen. Now, you should have been more prepared if you're
Yeah.
doing shit, and that's why when it comes to private parties, we get paid first.
And that's why we tell the people that when we're coming out to a private party, we're like, do you need ones?
Yeah.
And they're like, why would I need ones? So you can tip
So you can
the
tip the
strippers.
dancers, dumbass.
It's a nice, polite way of going, oh, this is what we're
You're
going
gonna
to
need money.
Yeah, exactly. Did you ever have any time? Well, when we worked together,
Yes.
you ran the company.
Mm-hmm.
You were basically the head figure of the industry.
Yes.
You had to make sure that us crazy strippers.
Well, my many partners didn't, so I had to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did that work out? Managing all of those chaotic strippers. Did you have to make sure that they were on point, that they stayed with us, even though they wanted to go party after the nightlife?
You know, my belief has always been when you're at work, do your fucking job. I
Show
give
up
a
on time.
shit what you do after you punch out. Okay.
Yeah.
Once you're done doing what I pay you to be doing,
Yeah.
do whatever fuck you want afterwards.
Do
okay?
on,
I
do
don't
on.
give a shit because
Yeah.
if they come to me saying, "Hey, blah blah blah, what's called doing blah blah blah," that's not my business. Bitch wasn't working anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not on the clock.
And so I haven't had too many problems with because I'm a very open person.
Yeah.
You know, I try to make sure that there's information coming from you, coming from me, so we understand what the situation is, what the context is. I'm cool leaving with customers sometimes not having enough money to pay their bill because I've done that in restaurants where I say, hey, leave me your ID. I know you're coming back for this. You have to because you can't drive without it.
Because you need
okay?
it. Yeah.
You got to have it. So I'm going to keep this, go get my money, come on back, and we'll be gravy. Okay?
Yeah.
If you screw me, then I've screwed you.
Right.
You know, because now you don't have that and you have to get a new one. But if you don't screw me, then I've gained myself a customer.
Right.
That's how I've always
and a lot of I remember the rules. We had simple rules when we worked together. The rules were that you weren't allowed to be on other drugs than pot, allegedly.
Yeah, because I love weed. I can't get on you for something that I'm smoking.
So that was one of the rules. You cannot be out of your mind when you're working for the company. You had to be of sound body and mind. If you're gonna drink, well,
I always looked at it as when I was dancing, I would not because I'm a diva.
Yeah.
I wouldn't start without my first Long Island iced tea.
With the company, we sent girls out in their right minds.
Yes.
We didn't a drink or two was
fine. If you're
fine.
a new girl, I'm like, you don't drink.
Yeah.
But if you've been with me for a while, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
And then it was a little bit
wasted.
little bit of pot. But yeah, if you were wasted or you were doing other things, you weren't ready to be part of the company. You didn't have the company's interest in mind, and things happen all the time on calls.
Right.
Anything could happen, and you had the specific rules: no drugs, and don't fuck each other. And if you're gonna fuck each other let's get it on camera. Those were the rules. Sometimes the rules were in place. The rules weren't in place to, stop the fun. The rules were in place because we had multiple bad.
The rules are in place to keep too much fun from happening.
Right, because you get like
because some fun is illegal.
All of the girls and all of the guys that were there, everybody was young and we were all in shape.
Yeah.
Like our doormen wanted to. Some of the doormen were male dancers. Some of the doormen, we're all young individuals. Like the whole house full of strippers. You think that
you say a house full of strippers. You don't have to say household. It was a house. It was a
house full of strippers, and a lot of the girls, some of them, they wanted party, and the rules were in place. Yes, you could drink a little bit. Yes, you could smoke.
And I was a lot more lax than most companies.
Oh yeah, you were. But the thing is that if you happen to hook up with a doorman or a stripper after hours, it caused so much trouble. It caused a lot of drama. It caused a lot of issues because then you got
sex is part of nightlife, Pixie. Leave them people alone.
It is, but it when it starts affecting money.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It was one of those things that early on, when it happened the first time between a doorman and a dancer, then that doorman didn't want the dancer to go out and do her work.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah. This one instance that happened, and it was so. I remember irritating you really bad because you're like, dude, why are you guys acting like this? The whole room felt weird. Like the interactions between people felt weird. And then
See, y'all shouldn't have fucked.
he wanted to be her only driver. And
Yeah.
I can
I'm
remember
like, you
you
can't do that.
I can remember you going, "Why, dude? What's going on? What changed? What was the climate? What was all of this?"
Yeah, I knew that
And then
fucking.
you're like, "Oh, it's because you guys are fucking." And I was
Yeah.
like, and then I chime in. I was like, "If you're fucking, we should put this on camera." And you're like, "Pixie, no." And then it became a whole running joke that
Wow, you remember that?
I
That's great.
do, because it was at the house in Denver,
Yeah.
and it was in the beginning. And yes, people are gonna fuck. Beautiful
It
people are gonna
happens,
fuck.
man. It happens, man.
But it was so prevalent that we had to basically put those rules in place. Like no, you can't be on hard drugs while you're working
No.
because you're gonna put
You're
yourself
gonna
in
do
it.
something
And you
stupid.
can't be fucking each other.
Yes, because it always causes a problem.
does,
It
it
just
does.
you
And
know?
it wasn't like a hard fast rule. If you
But I don't
decided
want
to
to be
date,
an asshole about being a boss. You know,
Right.
I've never said that. You know, I never want to be that type of guy. You know, because I
Yeah.
see corporations say to hey, you guys can't hang out with each other because you work together. I'm like, man, I spend 8 to 10 hours a day with these fucking people, and if I like somebody, who the fuck are you to tell me I can't fuck?
it wasn't a hard fast rule. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
It was like, if it's going to continue to cause
The
problems,
rule was, y'all can do whatever fuck you want, but as soon as it becomes a problem, I have to handle that problem.
Yeah.
So
and
don't make it a problem.
It was a problem. Like it was such a problem that you had to like bring it out to all of us,
Yes.
all of us dumb strippers
Yeah.
together, and
I didn't single y'all out too. I made that pretty smooth.
it was
pretty smooth.
and it wasn't me. I wasn't the offending stripper,
Yeah,
but
I knew who it was.
But it was pretty tawdry, you know, because some doorman, they only work certain nights, and you wanted to send out a stripper when she was ready, when she was available. So you basically paired people up and just sent them out. And so you couldn't just have one guy sitting there waiting for his one dancer to go out, because she might not get calls.
No.
You wanted him to go make money, bring it back. And you needed, there was so many different transportation, meetups, lookout.
I'm not trying to make things fucking easy on you because you two are fucking. I'm
Right.
not doing that.
Right.
Okay?
Sometimes-
We're here to make money.
Some-
Go out, make money, then we go home and we get back to real life until the next day tomorrow. Stop the bullshit.
Yeah, because sometimes we had to connect at a Denny's, or we had to like meet up at one of these different
Yeah,
locations to send a different dancer with another dancer, because she's got the next party isn't with her and the same girl. Sometimes it's her
I
with
gotta
another girl.
switch up
You got to switch
girls.
girls,
Right, yeah,
switch
totally.
cars,
Yeah.
move money around. It was a logistics thing, and when you get two people that are fucking,
It makes
it
things
makes it
difficult.
hard. It makes
And
it so
usually I'm
hard.
part of the guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Sometimes.
can usually smell that out. And
And
I'm just like,
sometimes it's the girl. She doesn't want, if she's fucking him.
yeah,
and
because
then
she's seduced by the penis.
And then there's another girl that comes in, and well, she's pretty, and then people get jealous, and then you start sending a dancer with.
I am so glad I'm not doing this anymore.
There was a lot of drama, and I
Anyone that wants to get involved in this industry
Run.
and be like a manager,
run.
and you don't get laid nearly as much as you should.
Well, that's why you should just run sex dolls like Brian.
I
Yeah.
know. Dude, that man is on the money. He knows what's up. Fuck.
Oh yeah, and it's just like herding cats, strippers on acid.
Yeah.
They
But I would not give up the nightlife
no.
for anything.
No, you would
know?
continue to be a
I
vampire.
still do.
You are
I'm
a vampire.
Still a vampire now. We used to, hell man, servers used to hold spots available for us. No, that area is available for my crazy crowd that comes in at 4 o'clock in the morning and tips me $50.
Yeah.
We used to make.
Well, you wouldn't say that to
nights of
a
life.
regular person. You'd be like, "I'm sorry, that area is off limits because we're cleaning it." You would
It's a different.
Yeah.
It's a different atmosphere at night.
Yeah.
And during the day, you couldn't do that, but during the night, it's not as busy. You know, and if it is busy, you can still say to your people, "Hey, sorry, that's for the special crowd. That's blocked off right now." When you know they're coming, you get away with a lot more stuff at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nighttime's fun.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I just not a like I'm a night person, but I'm not a real night person. I'm normal. I
Yeah,
guess.
you're a day walker, dude. It's cool.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just work at night.
I got shit to do.
I live at night.
I wasn't a heavy drinker. I wasn't like even now that I'm not going to the club anymore, now that I'm not doing any of that stuff, when I go and hang out for jam session with my husband,
Right.
with Becky, my bartender.
Yeah, your husband's in a band. You guys don't get fucked up afterwards?
Big D does. Big D sets up all of his equipment, has a great time, stays there till 2. You know,
Nightlife. That's part
he's-
of it. Yes.
Then I wait for him to get home, and it's.
But you're not with that.
I-
You're a day walker.
I'm a day.
That's
Well,
cool.
I'm not. It's not even just that. It's just I'm old. I feel like the whole, you know, it's just.
I don't believe that old shit, dude. You're only as old as they think you are.
I feel like I'm old.
I know.
And realistically, for me, it's the drinking doesn't really turn my gears anymore. I'm a social drinker, so I only drink with a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to drink alone. And so when I go out and I drink, the type of people and the place, like it's good. They're good people, good place. You know, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like I'll have a drink, I'll have a Dr. Pepper with Fireball, and then
That's it?
That's it. And if I'm up at the bar with Becky, she'll say, "Hey, you want a drink?" And I'm like, "No." And she'll be like, "You want a drink?" And I'm like, "Okay,
Okay, baby.
okay." Well, because I can't really resist Becky and her charms. You know,
Right.
one of these days we got to get her in because
Okay.
she's my favorite
No,
bartender.
dude, we gotta get a bartender in here. They got
Yeah.
some seriously fucked up shit to tell people.
Oh yeah, she's got stories about me. She'll throw me under the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Good
know,
deal.
I know. So, what else is going on with the podcast? What do we got going on?
You know, God, I don't even know right now. We've got so much stuff in the bag right now. We've got only about 7 to 8 more episodes.
We're
to go.
rocking and rolling through this season.
I know. It's going quickly.
Going good.
We've got at least 3 more interviews that we've got cooked. And we've got definitely, hopefully, a Las Vegas brothel girl.
Ooh.
We're trying to get her in. That's going to be some interesting shit.
We've also are in talks with somebody who used to take care of escorts.
Okay.
I think that's interesting.
Yep.
We've got Anissa that I'm trying to bring in. We've got a DJ. I think that'll be interesting to see all of those kind of stories.
And Pixie came up with a really great Denver Memories episode, so it's coming up pretty soon.
It's going to be about prom.
Yeah.
Because my prom was a little different than your prom, and I think that
Your prom was different from all of my proms.
yeah. And I think a lot of us have a lot of different stories because you guys have to remember, I was 17 with a baby.
Yeah.
So life hit me fast. I think that's probably what really
That's really the difference.
that's really why my nightlife was different than your nightlife.
Yeah.
Is that I had a different set of things that were going on.
Well,
things
you had a
that-
baby at home.
yeah, I have a whole different perspective on what I was doing, and that's why I don't regret being a stripper. That's why I don't regret anything I ever did in the nightlife because it was mostly positive. Yeah, stupid shit happened. Like I got hit with a chair. Like my teeth are fake. You know,
Right.
we had so much good just between you and me hanging out
I
at the
know, right?
it-
Different spectrums coming together, and we
Yeah.
still have a good time.
Yes.
We need to get more strippers in
We
here.
do. We need to get more strippers for you guys to hear different
Dude,
of
we are
opinions.
delicious people.
We are
Come up
fun,
with some pretty
interesting.
fucked up
See,
shit.
I'm not very normal, but I'm normal compared to the vampire of
Yeah,
the
I'm a little
nightlife.
nutty.
Yeah. You know, and that's great because you don't ever want to just hang out with the same people.
No.
You want to have a lot of fun.
No.
Yeah. So
Can't have as much fun as I used to. I'm just
So with the Twitters, Jay,
Yeah.
I managed to hit the 10K mark.
10,000 followers.
Yes, but Twitter doesn't give out blue check marks anymore.
Man, fuck Twitter.
No, they
Really?
don't. They don't give out
Why?
blue check marks. I don't meet their requirements, but they won't tell me what their requirements are.
There's so much bullshit.
Because when I first started going down the journey of trying to get so many followers for the podcast, it was reaching out, making connections, which I'm going to continue to do because I love making connections with you, with the people that are listening, because this is fun.
Yeah.
This is a grand time. I'm having a blast being able to share my memes. I'm becoming more professional as I talk.
You are getting good.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah, you really are.
Still kind of flubbing every now and then. And I really enjoy it. I just wish that there was more opportunities to really highlight what we do. And that's really what the connections are. It's just getting people together, having a conversation, and you know, for what is chaos to the fly is normal to the spider. It is. It's true.
Ooh.
You know, that's not my saying. It's somebody else. Somebody smarter than me said that,
That's
and I'm
fucking deep.
remembering that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Look, we're mature audiences.
Yeah. We're
Okay?
fun.
For a mature audiences podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Because you know how long we've been in the adult entertainment arena?
A
You
long
have
time.
to be within a specific area, and you really can't branch out outside of that to get more people in because well, adult entertainment, people like talking about it.
We've got a lot of stuff going on.
But this podcast is doing incredible shit.
It is. It
You know?
is.
We're
We're
hitting
fun.
high on good pods.
Oh, we're doing great on Good Pods. And our call to action this week is going to be the same call we've done. If you
One
know,
person.
one person that's a stripper,
Knows a stripper.
been a stripper,
Dating a stripper.
you know, you've been.
You're fucking a stripper.
we want to try and get more interviews, and we want somebody with a personal experience that lives here in Denver to come on the show.
Yeah.
We love doing in-house interviews. Currently, that's how we do our interviews.
Yeah.
If you're available and you have time, reach out to us. The Facebook,
Yep.
Next on Stage 1.
Next on stage 1.
Instagram, Next on Stage 1.
Yup.
The Twitters, that's where I'm at, Next on Stage 1. If you happen to, this isn't anybody here, but if you go through and you do a mass dump of following us on everything, and then you're trying to be a podcast promoter, go fuck yourself.
No, those guys are so annoying.
Scammy, so scammy. Maybe that's what we need to talk about is different kind of scams that happen to podcasters. Well, not strippers that happen to strippers. It is a good idea.
That's a good show.
It is a good show.
Okay.
Yeah, we got plenty of things coming on. We'll
play with that.
We're gonna get down and dirty this season.
Getting down and dirty.
I wish Jay would have gave us more down and dirty stories, but
What, man? I gave you some pretty good stories. Shit.
Oh.
You want a fucked up one?
do you have a fucked up one?
Oh, fucked up one.
Fucked up one.
Nightlife?
For the nightlife.
What do you... I saw a person lose a finger once.
Ooh, how'd that happen?
At a fucking... No, I don't know. There was a fight outside of a roller rink. A roller rink. Of
A
all
roller
places.
rink?
Yeah.
Wow.
And doors were slammed, and someone got their hand caught in a door, and a finger popped right off.
Ow.
Yep.
Oh, that.
Management had to run out there, and we put it in milk, and I still don't know whether or not that guy got to keep his finger. I have no idea.
Oh my
But we saw the finger pop off, got caught in the door.
That is crazy.
Man, there's all kinds of crazy shit happening
I
at night.
know. At nightlife, you miss out on all of the boring stuff. I mean, interesting things.
Nowhere near boring.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Pixie.
And I'm Mr. J.
And you've been listening to Next on Stage 1.
We'll see you next week,
We
Denver.
hope that you had a great time, because I know I did.
I did too.
Bye, Jay.
Talk hard, baby.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
See ya.